Hello, and today I'm going to be teaching you all about typecasting. So, let's get into it. Typecasting is the process of converting a variable from a data type to another. In typecasting, we only use 4 types of variables: the string variable, the integer variable, the float variable, and the Boolean variable. Now, when we typecast something, we only use these initials, because in typecasting, you don't need to write the whole name. Only for float, you do. Now, there's also a cool function in Python where to check which type of variable a value has, we use the following function, which is type and then variable name in curved brackets. So let's look at an example. So here I've made 2 examples. So from a string to a float. So let's look at these. So when we look at the GPA, I've made an input which asks, what is your GPA, to the user. And now that I will ask, it asks me here, what is your GPA? I can say, let's say 4. And that will say 4.0. Because since I've typecasted this variable as a float, it shows the answer in decimal points. Hence, when I say print GPA, it will show me float. Now, if I would like to check what type of variable this is, then I can also do print type, then in brackets I will write my variable name, which is GPA. So now when it will ask me, let's say my GPA is 4, type that in, 4.0, and it says class float. If I change this to an integer, for which the front form is int, then this would happen. I type in 4, it gives me 4, class integer. This is because now it's an integer, and it doesn't say 4.0 because integers don't take into account decimals. So now that we've looked at that, let's move on to the next one. So the next one is from a string to an integer. So the example I've given below is the variable age, and the input asks you how old you are. So let's say I am 15. I type this in, and now you'll see I get an error. The error is that you can only do that to an integer value and not a string value. And that is because since I've not typecasted this variable here, it's still remaining as a string value and not as an integer. To make this an integer value, I have to typecast it as an integer. And only then will I be able to print age plus 1. Because in Python, the code believes that I was asking it to add 1 to an already existing string. So for Python, it would have been like adding 1 to the word hello. That's not possible, is it? Hence, now that I've typecasted it as an integer, when I replay this program, I can say that I'm 14 years old, and it will say 15. And now, if I would like to check the type of this variable, then I can again use the function I have listed right here. Copy that, paste it here, and now when I run this program, again an error, because you can't just put in variable name. You have to actually put in the name of your variable, which in this case is age. So 14, 15, and class is integer. Hope you understood that. Shriyans out.